Alright, welcome back to Starsector. So, guys, I want to make one minor modification here. Can only have two requires dock modifications, so I'm taking off solar shielding. And I actually want to put in, not additional berthing, the expanded cargo holds. Okay. Just because I do want to carry more stuff. So that's that. Okay, things to talk about. Sorry about missing last week's episode. I'm probably going to be missing yet another episode at the beginning of the year. I think I can get 2 episodes recorded today. So I'll have something ready for Christmas. Anyway, but after that, I'm coming back from vacation on New Year's, so I won't see you. I will not be recording that weekend. Let's see. We are at Magic. Am I happy with my supplies at the moment? You know what? Give me your... There we go. An even 1380. Perfect. You read my mind. We're ready to go. Let's hit the Magic gate. How's our fuel? We could buy more fuel. We can't buy more fuel. Well, shoot. Because I actually want to do... Okay. Controversial decision here. I want to do some more exploring. There's been a lot of exploring in the past several episodes. I understand it's getting boring. I keep hoping that we're going to find something exciting. I'm going to... We've almost finished exploring the entire sector. Like, the majority of unexplored stuff is down here. I'd like to finish it up. But we still haven't found the cryo ship, which is what I'm looking for. Spoiler alert. We do want fuel, though. Any gates? I could just fly, you know, and not worry about it. Just fly down here, not even bother with... I guess I could go to EO. Okay. Well, it's the Ludic Church, so that's a problem. We could go to Esconia. Pick up fuel. Not Umbra. Right? We're okay with them. Yeah, neutral. Alright. Yeah, so... I talked... This episode's going to come out just slightly before it, but I talked verbosely in my next Stone Shard video about the constraints on my recording time. And one of the reasons I'm stopping Stone Shard, for example, is that video editing takes almost as long for me to do anyway as recording the actual video. So yeah, you know, toss a coin to your YouTuber who actually goes to the trouble of recording and editing videos, because that does take a lot of effort, at least in my opinion. I guess if you do it all the time and it's like your job, which is like a professional YouTuber, I guess it is, then fine, fair enough. You're welcome to be held to a higher standard than I hold myself. But for me, I'm like, I just want to, at the moment, I want to be able to play games that don't require me to put an equal amount of time into editing videos. Now, it's fine. I've done that for a lot of games, including Starsector. And the reason I'm not doing it now isn't because I just don't have the time. Okay, here we are. The question is, okay, we'll explore here and then up to here. And then we got to figure this one out. But anyway, it's just one of those things that I have other things that are even a higher priority to me than YouTube at the moment. A few of those things are just I'm working on my own game at the moment, and it's just kind of a hobby project, really, but still, it's something that I want to do and I enjoy doing. Look forward to maybe having something presentable at some point. I'm working on music for this very same hobby game because I enjoy music regardless, and it's something I haven't done for many years. I actually used to be a musician, but you can't make a living at it, so I stopped. And anyway, those are things that take up a lot of my free time that I used to spend maybe on YouTube and gaming. I still do spend time gaming, but the time I'm spending now in my free time is often for my own enjoyment, which has always been important to me too. Like, I do spend time gaming that I don't record. I could have surveyed that. It's pretty cheap, but nah. Nothing, huh? Okay. So yeah, I enjoy keeping up my channel, and I want to, but it just means that I can't keep doing as much stuff. And when I was doing Shadow Empire, like, for one thing, like, the return on investment, if you consider it that way, like, if you're somebody like my size doing YouTube trying to like make money, then you should get mental help, because that's a terrible idea. So I don't do it to make money, but the return on investment of a lot of my editing also isn't like great. Like, I can see how other bigger channels do it, and like I said, I kudos to them, because that takes a lot of effort, in my opinion. Unless you enjoy it, it's one of those things too, where if you enjoy video editing, that maybe is a different thing. Like, some people enjoy, like my wife, for example, can't stand finances, whereas me, I can do that till the cows come home. Neither of us like dealing with taxes, which a lot of people don't. But obviously, some people at least find it to be a worthwhile activity because they become accountants, right? Just like some people become programmers. So, for example, I enjoy programming, actually, which is a good thing to have when you are going to try to do it for a living. So yeah, some people may enjoy the editing stuff, but for me, it's really not enjoyable. I have to really be invested in the game and have the time. And so with Shadow Empire, I stopped because I was very disappointed with the direction the game was going, or suffice to say, things that were not being addressed by the developer. And the fact that the more I played it, the more its warts really began to show. There's been games like that for me, like Rogue Tower. I also really loved at first, but then eventually the warts really started to show, and I was like, well, the developer's aware of this at this point, right? But he's choosing not to do anything about it. So that means I've gotten what I can out of this game, and it's time to leave. And Stone Shard's going to require that level of editing, just because it is such a brutal game by design. But I can't edit it. And Kenshi is another game that I love that I have not recorded because it's going to require editing, because there's a lot of reloading in Kenshi as well, because it is also so freaking brutal. Who are you and what are you doing? I would love to record a Kenshi series, but I've just been waiting for a time in my life that I had the time to. Right? I'd like to do more streaming with, we did that with Dominions a while back. I'd love to do that too, but it's like, well, I need a weekend that I can freaking do this. And Domain era probes, eh? Desert world, barren world. And then, like I said, so then when it comes down to, well, what am I going to prioritize in my, like, of the myriad things that I want to do with my life? It's like, well, I guess I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to play a series on YouTube that requires extensive editing. Man, I did so much editing. Like, it's ironic. Like, the videos that I spend the most time editing are the ones. Maybe that's not true. There's one caveat. The Starsector videos that I edited, they got good viewership, obviously, because the Starsector had such a bump in popularity. But before that bump in popularity, it certainly didn't. There was more stuff in that system to explore. I'm going to actually explore it. But with that one caveat, everything else that I've spent so much time editing has never gotten like the broad appeal. Some of the series, some of the games I've played that, you know, I was just like, hit record, hit stop, publish. It's like those are the ones that like get the most views. So yeah, like I said, it's one of those things you kind of got to do it because you want to do it. Like Dominions, I put a lot of effort into editing my multiplayer series. And the other reason I haven't done more multiplayers, again, I'm just like, I cannot put in the time that I would want to. So, for now, that's why I'm like, well, Starsector's fun. Like, Starsector, I mostly know what I'm doing. It's always dramatic. Okay, we're going to actually head up to Ziptania. Go to system map, go to Herm. And it's easy. And there are other games like Spirit Hunters is like that. And I was hoping Stone Shard would be like that because I thought it kind of was if I was just cautious. And I was like, well, I know there'll be a few reloads and things like that, but you know, like whatever I edit, like if I'm just going to show deaths, like that's editing work I can do when I feel like it, if at all. And but it got to be more. Dwarf Fortress would be another game in that realm, sort of like Kenshi, where I think there's a lot of dead time that you need to edit. But I actually do want to try it. I have to say though, guys, I am not. I'm disappointed with Dwarf Fortress at the moment. Now that may change. Like I said, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, you just got to give it a chance." I've played Dwarf Fortress before, so like my disappointments are, how should I say? I don't know how to describe. I don't know how to put it. My disappointments are not are from experience with my previous experiences with the game and what I want the game to be based on, you know, what it used to be. There are changes to the game that I don't like, and I have not liked those changes. I talk about this extensively and ramblingly in my Stone Shard video. There are changes that have been in the game for like over a decade that are actually one of the reasons I stopped playing it. And they still are unaddressed. Now, there are other issues that have been addressed, like aquifers, but there are other things about it that have not been addressed that I can't fix. And there's not a reason why it shouldn't be fixable, except that nobody except me seems to want these changes. Like, I can't get any sympathy in the forums, really. And so, I mean, understandably, the developer doesn't prioritize a change that would make me happy. Okay, so we want to explore over here. So we're going to go back to this gate. This is the closest. I will lay in a course. It's a common problem I've had with indie games, period, where like things that I think are obvious that need to be fixed, a certain group of fanboyism just apologizes for. And that's why I loathe fanboys so much, because they never improve games. All they do is maintain a status quo in a game and are offended that you think the game is not perfect. And then they make these false binaries where it's like, well, categorically adding the feature you want means it takes away from something about the game that I like already. And it's like, no, it doesn't. You know, like I like adding an easy mode to Dark Souls doesn't like contradict having a difficult mode in Dark Souls. You know, those kinds of changes, right? Um, so yeah, like I said, I hate fanboys, like just passionately. We are going to explore the center here a little bit, in the hope that maybe we find something intriguing. So indie games, I often have that issue where my idea of what would be good game design, there's not a financial or popularity incentive for the developer to listen to. Had that issue with like Battle Brothers, like Dwarf Fortress. What other games have I felt went the wrong direction? Shadow Empire, like I said, not so much the wrong direction as much as like obvious things that should be fixed didn't get fixed. And instead he's adding like naval stuff now. And I'm like, okay, so just more stuff to be oh, Distant Worlds. Like, yeah. Anyway, these are beloved games, by the way. If you haven't heard of these, like, to some people, what I'm saying right now is going to be like heresy. It's like, how can you not like that game? That's like the best game ever made. And like, no, no. I disagree. Fair enough. Fair enough. I disagree. Like, no. Anyway, Starsector, though, is one of those games that I think is perfect. And one of the things I love about Starsector is the developer makes decisions that I would make. And he does things like he does what we call in writing, you killing your darlings, where it's like, oh, this is so great, I made it, it's perfect, but it doesn't fit with everything else. And so you have to kill it. And it's like, but that was such a great passage, that was such a great sentence, or whatever. You know, in games too, it can be like, oh, that's such a great concept for a mechanic, but I'm sorry, it doesn't work with the rest of the game, or it's not making the game better. You just have to remove it. And I'm going to show you exactly one example of where he's been killing his darlings. This screen right here. If you compare this to like 0.9, or yeah, 0.9, I think, maybe it was 0.8, where like you had to invest in technology before he could go up this tree, right? It was kind of cool looking, right? Oh, 1, 2, 3. You know, even before that, it used to be like 1 to 10 or something ridiculous, right? And then you could unlock these as you put more points into here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool looking, man. I gotta say, it's a lot more simplistic than what this is. Or, I mean, a lot more interesting looking than what this is, but it was actually worse. And so he's changed the whole skill tree here. And now it's just like, okay, you got to pick these before you can get to these, and then you can go to these. Like, this is actually a lot more like a board game in terms of how much simpler it's become, right? Like the skill level ups and stuff, right? It's less complicated, but it's better. And you know, I imagine it was a kind of a tough choice for him to just completely revamp his whole idea of like, you invest points into the combat to unlock the higher skills in combat or whatever, right? That's, I gotta say, mechanically speaking, it's interesting, but gameplay wise, this is better. And you know, I love the developer for this game because he makes those kinds of decisions. Oh, do we have a research station? This is what I'm talking about, guys. We're gonna actually go explore this. That's why Starsector is such a good game. Partly is because he's been willing to do those things, like make hard choices and be like, okay, this is not working, I'm going to cut it and fix it, or I'm just going to radically improve it. Remnants, huh? I think we can take them on. How about Remnants versus, no. You and you and you. You. Go and blow them up. So yeah, that's the mentality you have to make a really, truly awesome game. And this is a great game. And it's a mentality that I think is lacking in most indie developers, either out of getting into an echo chamber with fanboys or laziness or both. But of course, it's kind of unfair because Starsector's been in development, like over a decade itself, right? I mean, it's going to start getting up there with Dwarf Fortress in terms of how long how long has been spent refining it. By the way, I don't think Dwarf Fortress is like a. I don't think it's a bad game. It just doesn't have things in it that I like, that I want. It has lost things that I would like to see in it, but I can't fault it for at least being ambitious and, continuing to really expand itself. Other games, though, I would totally fault. Like Shadow Empire, thumbs down. Battle Brothers, halfway thumbs down. Attempt to open the pod. Lieutenant Ares Anno Nuevo, level 4. Well, I may have to dismiss you immediately. Oh, dude, really? I don't have 100. Of all the times I actually needed 100. I almost never need 100. Really? That's so annoying. Alright, well, I'm going to dismiss that other person. Not Intel command. Okay. Where's my officer readout? There we go. Who's this level 4 Goomba? Steady as well. Dismiss. I could mentor this guy. I don't see a reason to. I mean, he's going to gain enough experience on his own. Okay. Well, we'll finish here. Damn it. Of all the times, really, you know it's going to be a good one, too. I don't need 100. We're going to salvage it. I don't need 100 to get all the rare blueprints. Heavy machinery available. Okay. Come on, give me something good. Heavy blaster blueprint, integrated point defense AI, automated repair kit, shield conversion, mining pod, Kopesh, flash. It's okay. Not super stoked about it. Okay, integrated point. Wait, already. So I got 2 of those now. Okay. All right, well, guys, we're going to leave off here for now. In the next episode, I'll continue to moan about video games other than the one I'm playing. We're going to finish exploring this part of the sector. And then after that, next year, we're going to move into, I think, just going ahead and taking out the core worlds, because if I can't find the sleeper ship within this amount of time, then I mean, it's just going to have to be in another playthrough. I don't know. It's too bad, but I really wanted to find it. But the exploration has to come to an end. I also want to find blueprints for some ships like the Ludic Path Brawler, but yeah, that's also eluding me at the moment until I start raiding the Ludic Path, which I just didn't want to do yet. Okay, well, as always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.